Hi guys, so I am back and an update on this everlasting journey of starting my own life coaching business. So I want to give you guys an update, and this is more kind of a story, but I told you guys how I was looking for a mentor. I told you guys that hopefully I had an appointment with her on Saturday, and excuse me, so hopefully she would follow through. I would have the appointment. So it was going to be a Zoom call that we were supposed to connect with. And I never received a Zoom invite. That was the first thing, which I thought was quite interesting. But I thought maybe she'd send it an hour before. Anyway, 10 o'clock came and it went. And so I was in the process of actually writing an email to her to basically, because I feel like, you know what, typically I would blow it off, but customer service is very important. So anyone out there, if you're starting a business, have a business, make sure your customer service is on point. Just respect other people's time. Anyway, I 10 o'clock came, I was writing the email, and finally she calls me. Well, I didn't know she had called my phone wrong. I didn't know who it was. If it's not a name on there, I hang up. You need to leave a message, and then if I know who it is, I'll call you back. Anyway, so as I was writing the email, my computer shuts off. Never happened to me before, so I knew it was God just telling me don't send this email. But I had when I it rebooted back up, the email was then in my inbox for the Zoom call, but it was sent like 2 minutes in the process of me writing the email. Anywho, so I connect in the Zoom call. I see her, she can see me, but I can't hear her. So I type in the chat, like, I can't hear you. Can you like call me or something like that? Anyway, she ends up calling me. No, I ended up somehow, I saw her number on the email. I call and I'm like, hi, doctor. I'm not going to use her name because I don't want to expose her. Hi, so and so. And now, mind you, I'm looking at her on Zoom and I'm talking to her on the phone because we can't hear each other. She was like, hello. I was like, hi, doctor. I'm going to call her Sally Sue just for the sake of the story. Hi, Dr. Sally Sue. And she was like, no, this is her assistant. Mind you, I can see her on the camera. Hi, no, this is her assistant. May I ask who's speaking? I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, I'm calling for the 10 o'clock appointment. This is Leisha. Oh, well, hold on. Let me get Dr. Sally Sue. I'm like looking at her doing all of this, and I'm like laughing. Like, did she not see me? If it's a lie, God strike me down. I swear this is what happened. So she like changes her, like she like fixes her stuff, and she goes, hello, this is Dr. Sally Sue, or whatever I just said her name was. And I'm like, oh, hi, this is Leisha. I'm calling for a 10 o'clock appointment. She was like, yeah. She was like, I was wondering where you were at. And I'm like, just still baffled and puzzled. And my husband was like, you should have said something like, I can see you. But I think I was just in such shock that she did that. Long story short, Lord, Jesus help me. And so she was like, yeah, I was wondering where you're at. I was like, well, I never did receive the Zoom invite. And she was like, oh, we sent it the day before. I'm like, no, I never did receive it. And she was like, well, but you received it you received it today. I said, yeah, I just received it after 10 o'clock. Anyway, so it was like automatically I was just kind of like, not feeling it. But I went through with the call. Now, the call was supposed to be 15 minutes, and it was just kind of like a touch base. And in her emails, and if I could share just the email communication, I should have known just through the email communication. I should have known. Anywho, she we had the conversation like what I was looking to do, why I was looking for a life coach. And to be honest with you guys, the reason why, and I think I've shared with you, the reason why I'm looking for a life coach, I need a life coach, is because I do have so many things going on, and I need someone to keep me on task with the things that I have going on, and my mainly this business. The all the other things I have a good handle on, but with this, it's not, I'm all over the place. So I need someone to kind of help me just, make sure I'm on task, and I'm kind of, making sure that I'm checking all my boxes off. Anywho, so as I am talking to her, she was like, asking me why. I told her why, just like I told you guys. And she was like, so it sounds like that you never get anything accomplished. And it was the tone into which she said it, and I just said, well, when it comes to this, yeah. She was like, well, what are you looking? She asked me some questions, before that, but she was like, what are your priorities? I told her what my priorities are, and it was mainly like my husband, my son, this business, and things dealing with myself, my health, and things like that. And so when she made that comment, it just kind of caught me, it rubbed me the wrong way, to be honest. And I said, and I just said, yes, that's, yes, I do find myself, for the most part, and it was true for the most part, when it comes to certain things, I don't think everything in my life, but certain things, I do find myself finishing these things. I mean, starting, but not completing. And I think those are more things when it comes to maybe hobbies, maybe when it comes to, just like little, not very priority, prioritizing. Like if you guys can see over here, my whole point, there's a blank canvas that's sitting over there that I still hung up. At first it was sitting, I had it sitting on this little bench thing. So finally I just said, well, let me put it up. Then eventually I'm going to paint. I'm going to, do the painting that I envision. So, yeah. So maybe there was some truth to what she said. But anyway, so but that's not true, because there are a lot of things in my life that I have accomplished that, I do get done. Um but yeah, it did kind of just rub me the wrong way, the way she said it. Anyway, so she kind of went through down some things, and she was like, okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to write down what you're looking to accomplish, and then we're going to create this game plan. And I'm like, okay. Now mind you guys, I'm still stuck on her whole acting like she was her assistant, and I don't know, I was still stuck on that. So then she goes on to say, after she said that I don't accomplish anything, I asked her, she was like talking, and then she said, well, do you have any questions for me? And I said, one of my questions, and I want to really, I want to be realistic. I said, given everything that I have shared with you that's going on in my life, do you feel like I can create balance? And she was like, of course. She was like, well, no, she said, do you want to create balance? I was like, yes. And then she says, well, then you can. She was like, there's plenty of women that have balance in their life. She was like, if you want it, then you can create it. I was like, okay. And then she said, any other questions? And I said, I do. I said, also, when I looked at your profile on Psychology Today, it said that you host women's group. And then I hear somebody in the background on her side, and then she was like, okay, well, it's 10:30. My other client is waiting, so you send me an email and let me know if you're interested, and we'll go from there. And she hung up. That was my interaction. I was, and you know what the funny thing is? After all of that, I was still like, well, should I? And I like prayed about it, and I'm like, God was like, go with your instinct. What is your instinct telling you? And my instinct was telling me no. And so, what I want to share with you guys is, you know, I truly believe that we all have the answers. We all have the answers to our own questions. We all have the solutions to our own problems in our lives. It's, do we listen to ourselves? And a lot of times we don't. And so I did not, you know, send her an email. At first, I was going to send her this long email, basically giving her feedback. But what I don't want to do is create because I'm also in the process of getting ready to start into a master's program for counseling. And she supervises students that does internships and has to get hours and stuff like that. And not saying that I'm going to go that path, but it's a small community, especially in where I live, and so I don't want to ruffle any feathers. So anyway, I just think that we just need to listen to our instincts, listen to ourselves. And with that being said, I also had to sit down because I did learn a lot from that short amount of time that I engaged with her. And it really is, what are your priorities? What are you looking to accomplish? And so I actually sat down, and I will show you guys next time. But I actually sat down and wrote down 4 things that I am looking to accomplish. What are those 4 things? What are those, you know, priorities in my life right now? Now, obviously, I know that my husband, my son, those are always priorities. But what are the short term, you know, goals or priorities that I'm looking to accomplish? So I wrote those things down. Then subcategory, I put what actions I need to take to accomplish those goals. And then I gave myself a time frame. And so I'm going to show you guys kind of what I laid out for myself and what I told myself every day I should be doing one of those things, one of my goals and one of those tasks to accomplish my goal by that time frame. So I did learn something, and I did have a takeaway from that short amount of time that I engaged with her. And I think that's just life. A lot of times in life, you know, maybe, you know, she wasn't meant to be a long-term impact on me, or she wasn't meant to be someone that was supposed to be in my life long term, but maybe for that short amount of time she was supposed to bring an impact to what she did. So I received it, I sat down, and so I really been prioritizing my to-dos. And so I also had to kind of sit back and also think to myself, you know, is it realistic for me to launch my life coaching business this year? And I had to say no, because there are so many other things, and I'm going to share with you guys some of the other things. So I'm in the process of my husband and I, we completed our foster care license. So we're actually in the process, and at the end of this month, having a foster child come into our home, which I'm really excited about. School, and then I am going to in the process of co-leading some groups in my community. So a lot of moving parts, a lot of things going on. So I needed to say, could I give 110% to someone else? Because if I'm going to do this life coaching business, I need to be able to give 10% to the clients that come into that, you know, come to me. And I can't do that right now. So I really truly feel like God has told me, like, doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, just means that I need to iron out some things in my life, continue down the path that he has me going down, and when it's time, it's going to come. So I'm still going to share my journey with you guys. I'm not for sure if I have comments on or not, and I'm going to make sure when I load this video that I do have comments on. But I do want to ask you guys, you know, um, have you ever experienced anything like that, you know, where you're looking for maybe a mentor, or, you know, really, have you been looking for a mentor? Was it difficult? Was it easy to find a mentor? How did you go about, you know, seeking out a mentor to whatever career field that you are in? And then two, have you ever had to go back and reprioritize your priorities? So, and then give me feedback, anything that you guys want to share about me and my journey and starting my own business. Um, Please, you know, ask me. I may not have, you know, the answers because I am starting off, but I would love to hear your experiences. Also, I do have a Facebook page called Miss Dependable. Please, you know, look for me, or Alicia Lochner. please find me on Facebook and send me a friend request, because like I said, I really would like to, get to know those that are watching my videos, and hopefully they're helpful. I know I'm not the only one that's going through this journey or experiencing some of the things that I'm experiencing, so I would love to hear your journey, and maybe we can support each other and be each other's cheerleaders. So thank you guys, and happy Thursday, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.